Whoa, 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 slow your roll. You gotta find this out. Did you hear that? You're about to find out. Hey everyone, Matt Swierk here. I'm the local real estate expert right here in Massachusetts with the Legacy Star team powered by Keller Williams Realty. If this is that first time that you're coming to our channel, welcome. You're going to learn what it's like to come to Massachusetts and eat, drink, sleep, play, and more importantly, some things you should really know before coming here. Now, there's so many people reaching out to us. We've had some really interesting comments on some of the videos, some really great questions. So it's really simple. You have questions, we're going to have answers for you. You can email us, you can text us, you can call us. Whatever it is, shoot us a message. We'll get back to you. And when it comes to Massachusetts, we have always got your back. All right, so today we're talking about some things you need to know as far as coming to Massachusetts, right? And we could spin off in so many different directions here. And really what we thought, we would just hit some of the highlights of what's going on right here, right now. If you're looking to come to visit, if you're coming to look for a place to rent or a place to own. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about today in Massachusetts. And some things have changed since we did one of these videos not too long ago. So we just really want to keep you up to date and just let you know what's going on in our current environment. I did print out some things just because there's so much data here and I don't want someone saying, Matt, you have no idea what you're talking about. So just to keep on path and keep focused, I have this here. Because if you've seen my videos before, sometimes we spin way off tangent and I want to stay focused today and get to the point. So we're talking the rental market, one of the near and dear to my hearts as an investor in real estate. Out in the western part of the state, prices have gone up a little bit. A two-bedroom apartment, you're probably spending a little over $975. That same place that's going to be in like the Boston, Cambridge, even down towards Quincy, you're looking about $2,300. So rents are definitely creeping up. There is a housing shortage. There's a shortage as far as rentals are concerned. So competition, of course, is going to drive price up. That's for a two-bedroom. If you have an efficiency, you could be spending here in Middlesex County where we are, it's about $1,700 for just an efficient apartment, and you could be spending well over $3,000 for a four-bedroom apartment or for a home. So we have a lot of people that do reach out as far as renting is concerned. Of course, we would always advise to purchase. However, if you're not sure about living here long term, then we'd say, okay, well, don't make that investment. So we get that sometimes you're going to want to rent just to test out the area, but just understand it's going to cost a good amount of money as far as rent is concerned. And we have the third highest rental market in the country. So my wife gets upset when I talk about some of the negative things about Massachusetts. She's like, you should have everyone come here. And I say, hey, the truth is the truth is the truth. It is what it is. All right, so talking about the housing market, I'm sure most of you that, all across the country, and maybe if there's anyone across the world, there is someone actually that saw this over in Poland. So we have a worldwide audience, which is pretty cool. Not to point at you. But there is a housing shortage, right? COVID, especially here in Massachusetts, has shaken us a little bit. Really what happened, there was so much buyer demand before COVID hit. We had a little bit of uncertainty for the first couple of weeks we were shut down, and then the real estate market just shifted into overdrive, and it has just been it's been really, really amazing as how fast things are moving. No pun intended. So as far as the demand is concerned, and because of the shortage, we're down about 60% of our listings from last year. So that's a big gap as far as people looking to purchase a home. And again, supply and demand, the supply is low, demand goes up, price goes up with it. So our properties are moving fast. They're going, it's 21% faster days on market than it was last year. So that's really big. And another thing is our listings are actually up about 26%. Now this is statewide that we did, not just a specific market. So again, prices are absolutely on the rise. Something that's really interesting here is that we have less than a half month supply of inventory. or just over a half month supplies of inventory. So it's definitely one of those things, and we're hearing that same thing, across the country, that the supply is limited, the listings are limited. So little tip to everyone: if you know someone that's looking to sell a house, contact your local real estate agent. Say, hey, listen, we're going to help solve this problem. And if you're in Massachusetts and you're watching this, or in New Hampshire where I'm licensed as well, if you're looking to list your property, give us a call because we have buyers for you. All right, so that's a little bit about the housing market. Things are going to loosen up a little bit going into the spring. We're already starting to feel the spring market, but people need housing, especially with COVID. And any of you that have cities near you, there was a big exodus of people wanting to get out into the suburbs, have more space. I think we talked about this before. One of the jokes we made, because we actually fix and flip properties, and we, the thing, we walk into a house, all right, knock down that wall, open concept, and we joked about, okay, at one point in time, when is the pendulum going to swing the other way, where people actually want divided rooms? Hey, welcome 2020. We started to feel that impact where people now needed a room for homeschooling. They needed their home gym. They needed their office space. Maybe we pulled that energy to ourselves by saying it's going to swing the other way. So it's been interesting as far as the push out from the cities, and that's definitely pushed up the demand as far as the markets are concerned. I'm actually working with one client that he has friends out in California, so hello to everyone on the other side of the coast. It's funny because he was saying that a lot of people left the state thinking they're going to just work remotely, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, hey, we're coming back to work in October. So people that sold their houses now are faced with a whole nother thing. And something that's today, we're talking today's numbers. We're looking as far as gas prices are concerned. Things are creeping up a little bit, especially we're going to get into Memorial Day. Memorial Day's in May. That's how I figured this out. So that's our summer here, and that's our kind of pretend summer in Massachusetts. So when we have Memorial Day in May, that's when things really start, and then it goes to Labor Day, and that's how I always goof those up. So Memorial Day, May. So when we Memorial Day, we're going to definitely see gas prices going up because a lot of people travel, especially because Massachusetts is centrally located in New England, so you can go all over the place. I think we made a video about that before. So gallon of gas has creeped up to about $2.76. Mid-grade is over $3, so it depends where you go. I have that little pickup truck that takes it gets 14 miles a gallon, so my gas bill goes pretty high. So that's what gas prices are today. As far as gas, and we're just kind of talking utilities, the average oil. So this is interesting because we pulled from last year. Right now, the average gallon what am I saying here? The average gallon of oil for heating, there we go, is about $2.83. That's the average. So last year was about $2.69. So things are going up a little bit, and that's, it is what it is. That's the kind of the world we live in. Things are usually going up. On the other side, people like me that have propane, the propane prices have risen as well. Where the average is about $3.38 a gallon. The low point is $2.48. The company we just filled up with actually came last week by chance. We paid $2.98 per gallon. So that's what you're going to look for as far as propane is concerned. And it's up from last year quite a bit. It's about 17% higher. So all different factors that come into play as far as economics and what pushes things all over the place. I'm going to talk a little bit about electricity. I actually recently moved from one town to another, and we had a local, it wasn't a municipality, but there's one company out here that really kind of has everyone. It's the second highest utility company in the country. So I was able to get out of that. Being a customer in one space, I own rental property, they still service us. But our electricity rates are semi-high. The average is 21.54 cents a kilowatt. That's actually 68% higher than the national average. So there's a little ways you can get around it as far as some of the third-party suppliers are concerned. But costs are high. We actually have a pretty decent solar initiative here. So that's something that, there's been, towards renewable energy, there's been a push over there. Out in a town that's in Western Mass, I've seen a second wind, or what do you call it? I'm thinking of wind turbine, but it's not a turbine.
Windmill.
Windmill? No, it's not a windmill. Is it a windmill? that giant thing that creates wind. So I didn't research what you call that thing, but it's the wind. I don't know. We could say I'm going to go in circles. I'm just going to let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. So they're starting to see more of that, and like I said, renewable energy has become very important. So there's done a lot of initiatives, especially in the past, to get more solar. But you see it popping up everywhere, and some people rent them, some people own them. Little tip for you: if you rent them, you might have a challenge as far as selling your home because you got to transfer that lease. So that's something else. All right. So we just kind of touched upon some of the utilities very quickly. Next thing I love to talk about, as you can tell, I'm bursting out of my shirt. It's not because I've been working out. It's because I've been eating. So we're going to talk about some food things, right? And I literally went through today. Tyler and I were joking because I was like, we should go through the grocery store and kind of show people what things are. But here's a real fast snapshot of today, what we're paying for certain things. So one of our local chains called Hannaford's for 91% ground beef, per pound, $7.49. Okay, that's definitely up, and I know that as I go grocery shopping more and more, you see the prices climbing. So that's something that usually doesn't fall. Chicken breast, about $2.79 a pound. That's pretty decent. That hasn't really moved up too much. I don't think milk has moved around too much either. It's about $3.98 a gallon. Eggs are definitely rising. I've seen that without a question. So just your regular local, brown eggs, it's about $2.39 for a dozen. So that definitely is creeping up there little by little. So be cautious of that. And cheese, cheese is if you go to Hannaford's, cheese is on sale this week. It's only $4.49 a pound for your reduced sodium white American cheese. However, that's normally $6.99 a pound. And then this is something I always laugh about when I go to the deli to get meats. Because for some reason, I just feel like turkey should be like $3 a pound, but that's not the case. And I was looking at roast beef prices, which are like $9.79 a pound of all natural turkey, $8.49. So it's interesting as food costs go up. And you see people struggling, like how can you afford a decent meal at those prices? So really, really important. But things are on the move here. We've talked about the past that some of the things here in Massachusetts are a little bit higher. And really what we want to talk about today, and this is one of the biggest reasons I want to print out the information and have it in front of me, is that we're in this world, of course, like everybody else, with COVID. We haven't really talked about it before. You might have saw one of the videos with a mask. But the reason we want to bring this up is that, the nicer weather is going to bring more people coming to the area. And especially if you want to come here to visit, or if you're, like I said, you're looking to rent or looking to buy, we just want you to have a rough idea of what's going on in our local environment. Okay. So we actually recently moved into phase 3, step 2. I'm sure like a lot of states out there, you had very specific plans about what was going to open and how it opened. We're now starting to allow live music for people or to perform, right? We're not talking giant crowds, but in some of the smaller venues, you can now have someone come in to do a little bit of performing. Restaurants are opening up a little bit more too. Tables still have to stay 6 feet apart, minimum of 6 people per table. You have a 90-minute eating limit. That's not for buffets. That's a little joke, dad joke. Okay, anyway. And that's, we just went out to dinner last night. It was, like everybody else, it's such a confusing thing, right? So like, put your mask on. So you walk in with your mask on, then you keep your mask on until you get to the table, and then like now you're in the safe zone. You can take your mask off and breathe all over the place. So we're not going to go there though, but that's kind of what we're dealing with as far as going out to eat. And really what's important is that, I won't get there yet. I was going to go ahead of myself and get to phase 4, but let's keep talking about phase 3. All right, so phase 3, step 2 that we're still in. This is exciting because they're starting to open up some concert halls, some theaters, some outdoor performing venues. They're doing that at half capacity, so up to 500 people total. So if there was 1,000, and social distancing is still important as far as making sure people are safe. But now those are starting to open up a little bit. I know people have been really chomping at the bit to get to do something different. They're capping it at 50% as well. anything like indoor recreation centers, right? So I was laughing pulling this list or looking at this list because it's like laser tag. So there is some places that have laser tag, but we don't have like there's no like franchises of laser tag that, hey, let's go run down to the local laser tag shop. So or roller skating rinks, right? We have a couple of those, but these other ones I think are more relative. So if you find places that have laser tag, if you find places that have roller skating, yes, I know of a few. Call me. There's actually one it's the same place. But trampoline parks and obstacle courses, right? Those are opening up with a 50% capacity. So I would have no idea what those were unless I had kids, but they literally like a trampoline park with all different types of trampolines. Another thing that is super exciting is we're about to move in this thing called Phase 4, right? Phase 4, Step 1, actually coming in just a couple days. They're looking to have larger indoor venues and outdoor venues open. So excited when I read this article because they, for those of you that know or they've heard, huge hockey fan or huge Bruins fan, and the TD Garden said, hey, the day that we can come back, we're going to open up to 12% capacity. Right. So I thought about that. And I said, wow, that's really awesome. You know, like people can actually start going to watch hockey games. And then I said, well, that's going to be kind of weird because there's not a lot of fans there. And then I just, of course, my business mind, I was like, all right, so how do they figure out like how they're going to sell the tickets, right? Like, are they still going to have the tickets up front that are a higher cost? And how are they going to do this whole thing? And I thought it would be pretty cool, like just to be in a big stadium with just 12% capacity. So I'm definitely going to go because I'm a big hockey fan and I've missed that. Over at Fenway Park, they haven't stuck their flag in the ground yet, but they said they do expect to have fans for the 2021 season. I said it right the first time, but I was thinking 2021. That's what I was going to say, which is wrong. So 2021. We just had daylight savings times. I'm all confused. All right. No, that's an excuse. So the other thing that's really good as far as going into step 1 of phase 4 is now that they're going to be able to allow 100 people on the inside, 150 people outside on some of these bigger venues. And they're going to bump up some of the, kind of the we're at right now. We're supposed to be 8-person minimum as far as private gatherings, and they're bumping that up to 10. So it is a little bit better, and then allowing 25 people to gather as far as groups outdoors. So things are definitely getting better here in Massachusetts. We hope that for the rest of the country. It's been a really long haul for everyone. So that's the quick update on Massachusetts. All right, just a couple little things to know about coming to Massachusetts. There's so much more we could talk about, but we just want to kind of go fast and furious on that. So really, whether it comes to, if you want to come here to rent, if you want to come here to move, if you just want to come here to visit, you have any questions at all, we definitely want to be a great resource for you. All you have to do, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, right? However you want to reach out to us, we'll get back to you. And remember, when it comes to Massachusetts, we've always got your back.
So smart.